Hi, my name is Arwen Brook, and I'm an educator for Balanced Body and the founder of CoreAlign CoLab, a virtual hub for CoreAlign learning, training, and community. Today, I have a sweet little sequence of exercises I like to combine that are really especially great for two things: mobilizing your spine and developing core strength. We are going to use asymmetrical resistance, which is again really great for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to help us to gain that mobility and get a little bit more support in our deep stretches. And then it's also going to ask us to work in a really particular way to stabilize our home position of neutral, which is again going to really help us to go out into the world and move with more ease and strength in all of our daily activities. So to set up, what we're going to do is have our resistance coming from the latter end. We're going to play on one side of the CoreAlign. So I have a mat set up. I'm a little bit removed from the CoreAlign because I don't want to be right up against it. I'll say more about that in a moment. But I'm going to have us start with a really light resistance, just one peach on the cart. We're then going to use our rotator disc, with or without padding. But you're going to set the disc up so that those pegs live right in those little holes, and then it's stabilized in that space. We don't need padding for the disc, but you could use it. You do want to also have padding for one of the carts. We'll borrow it from here in just a moment. We are setting ourselves up kneeling, and we are facing the side of the CoreAlign a little off center. So we have this bolt in the center of the CoreAlign. We're going to be just a little bit to the left of it, and then we're going to work with the cart coming from this side. In a little while, we are going to switch sides and make sure we're in balance by working in both directions. So once you're all set up, we can begin. All right, once in position, we can reach for the cart and bring it right out in front of us. We're going to position our hands on the cart and disc so that we start in this very symmetrical position. But as you can tell, the resistance is coming from one side of the body, and it's going to feel very asymmetrical. What we're going to do is start by rounding the spine and then letting the cart take us into a twist and side bend to the right. Stay there and take a nice full breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to curl the tail under and flex as we bring the cart back in front of us. And then we're going to continue across the body to the other side. And then again, take that long inhale to stretch out to the right. Allow that to give you all kinds of length and stretch on the left side. And then exhale, activate and round to pull it back. You can take more than one breath in each position and just really focus on letting your breath flow. We're using our resistance to help guide us and coax us into a stretchy, more relaxed state as we go out. And then we are activating to come back in and across, which sometimes feels especially helped by an exhale, but you could really be breathing in any pattern that feels comfortable and friendly for you. If the CoreAlign were longer, you bet I would keep going to the left, but I'm biasing the length on this side that gives me that traction-y support. And then we're going to pause, land the cart, and do a reset. So we'll take our disc and padding off, and then we'll swap that for the cart pad, and then we're going to bring our cart out to the center of the CoreAlign. So we're going to move our knees onto this cart, organizing around that center bolt on the CoreAlign, and then placing the hands opposite. If you prefer to have your hands on the floor, you're welcome to, or another prop of your choosing. We're then going to set up in our neutral spine and try to stay in that centered place, again, feeling that asymmetrical resistance on our body. Once we find a nice sort of stable place, we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to go into our cat and then our cow. And we're going to roll through that a few times, using our breath to help infuse our movement with a smoothness and a fluidness. And then kind of just appreciating how all those muscles that stabilize the trunk and organize the rib cage over the pelvis, they're being asked to stabilize and mobilize all at once, which is a real functional way to practice. It's real life stuff. Then we're going to come to neutral, organize around the hands and shoulders, creating a stability there that's not going to change, as we then take the cart to the left and slant the thighs to the left, and then center and slant the thighs to the right. So there's real movement over the kneecaps, rolling over the knee and shin to one side and then the other, asking our waist to twist. There's a really lovely stretch on the outer hip on either side as we twist. And then we come back to center, we pause, and now again we're stable, this time in neutral, and we're gonna add some challenge to our stability. We can add low level challenge, taking one leg away. I'm going with the inside leg, closest to the ladder. And then if you'd like to advance it, we can take this opposite arm forward, and you better expect to wobble. This is a tricky challenge. Then we're gonna land the knee and hand down, if we can, holding that for a count of 3 or more. And then we'll try it on the other leg first. This is gonna use our anterior oblique slings, posterior as well. And if you have the ability, you can take the opposite hand forward and hold for 3, 2, and 1, land, reset, and then land the toes down. And we are done with side 1. Now, if we walked out of here having only done one side, we would not be in balance. But once we do all of that again to our other side, we're gonna have a level of mobility and strength in our neutral that is really quite amazing. So rather than moving to the other side of the CoreAlign, I simply moved the cart to the other side. I'll be resetting the disc and swapping it out. And then I'll move my body over, finding their little pegs in the holes. So again, I'm just a little offset from center, somewhere between the center and the bolt to the right. And I'm a little backed away from the side of the CoreAlign. And then I'm gonna draw the cart out in front of me, find the hands right in front of the center of the body, soften the shoulders, and then add that flexion. And then we'll let the cart take us into that deep stretch. And here you might notice a difference to your two sides. As you come through the center, really round, as if you're going into a cat stretch. As you stretch out, find that breath in to lengthen. Exhale, connect, lift your ribs away from your thighs, and then find those same muscles helping to draw you across your midline to the ladder. And again, looking for that smoothness of the wheels in the track to be resembled by the smoothness of the movement through your spine and shoulders. And then we'll let the cart come all the way back to the bumpers. Pause there, and we have the swap to do again. So we'll take the disc off, reset the padding, move the cart to the center of the CoreAlign, and then climb on, kneeling. So you know the sequence here, but obviously we have the resistance coming from the opposite side. So we want to move through all of it in a very similar and balanced way. We're going to round on the exhale, and then again inhale and stretch the heart forward, sit bones up and back, and then exhale to round again. And you might notice as you approach your second side that you have a different experience, and that's very human of you. And so you might discover that one side could benefit from a little more time in any of these moments. For now, we're just going to do a very balanced practice. And then once we have ourselves back to neutral, we're going to add in our twist. We're going to slant the knees to the right and slant the knees to the left and slant right. I often think of what I heard is a good strategy for skiing downhill over moguls, keeping your heart and shoulders straight down the mountain while your hips swivel side to side as you ski around mogul after mogul. So if that's fun for you to visualize, you can include that in your practice. And then we're going to come to neutral, center, organize. Again, we're going to take the left leg back first this time. This is a way of targeting our lateral slings first. So that's the outer hip, the AB ductors on that right leg, opposite hand and foot, stretching out and hold, and then place it all back down. And then second side. Now we're more active through our adductors, particularly on the left side, and we're connecting that all the way across our trunk to the right arm, especially as we take away the left hand. This can be that area in our body that is a little less developed, a little more challenging, and hold 3, 2, 1, and then land it all back. Let the toes land. Let your hands help you off the cart, and we'll let it land at home. And then we can just pause there, maybe bring ourselves back to our heels, take a big circle, reaching up to the sky, soften the shoulders, and let the hands drift home to the heart. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you feel strong, centered, and inspired. And again, my name is Arwen Brooke, and you can find me and your CoreAlign community at CoreAlignCollab.com. Thanks and have a great day.